How's it going, everybody? It's Warren, and welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. And as we patiently await that Spider-Man trailer 2, which is actually the official first full trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home, we actually have some pretty cool news to talk about in the meantime regarding Spider-Man No Way Home. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, where we talk about the MCU and recently about Spider-Man a lot. Spider-Man No Way Home is one of the most anticipated movies of all time at this point. And luckily for us, we are just getting tons and tons of new information about it pretty much every other day. And today we have to talk about the Spider-Man No Way Home post-credit scene, what it could be. We actually got a little bit of a hint. And at least one of the post-credit scenes will actually tie into some other things that have been happening within the MCU now. And we also have to talk about some new Spider-Man No Way Home photos, which of course I'll break down everything in this video. Also, we'll be announcing the winner for the Spider-Man action figure within a couple of days. So be sure to subscribe to my channel and subscribe to Cosmic Culture and leave some comments on some videos. Only a couple days left in the giveaway. So this is rather interesting. There was a Reddit user that went by the name My Time to Shine Hello that had recently leaked a lot of accurate information about Spider-Man No Way Home. A lot of this information was confirmed to be true when the first trailer came out. So this person's track record for leaks in regards to Spider-Man No Way Home is outstanding, and recently they made a Twitter account. Now at first we questioned whether this was actually the real person or not, but this person went on Reddit and confirmed that it is indeed the same person. And this person posted a few days ago, Halloween scoop for y'all. Remember it well, I'll go back to it when No Way Home is released. Tom Holland's Peter Parker will get the black symbiote suit in the MCU after No Way Home. Now obviously the black symbiote suit is Venom. And we're talking about the Venom post-credit scene because the movie has been out for long enough to where you should have seen it or at least heard about it by now. The Venom Let There Be Carnage post-credit scene pretty much does back up this report. However, it adds a little bit more to the post-credit scene. We know that Venom is now in the MCU. That's pretty much what we know. The rest of it is very confusing, whether Morbius and everybody else is over in the MCU now or whether it's just Venom. But we know that Venom and Eddie Brock are now in the MCU. And the post-credit scene came after Tom Hardy said that he's going to do everything that he can to get Venom and Spider-Man to go up against each other. That combined with Venom licking Tom Holland's Spider-Man through a TV screen probably means that whatever is coming after No Way Home is going to involve Venom. And it won't just be Spider-Man versus Venom. Somehow Spider-Man is going to wear the black Venom symbiote. Or somehow get another black symbiote, which I think would actually be kind of cool because essentially you would have Spider-Man Venom versus regular Venom. But here's the thing, I asked around to other insiders about what this could possibly mean, and each one of them told me that they pretty much believe it is going to be the post-credit scene for Spider-Man No Way Home, at least one of the post-credit scenes, because I do believe that they will do some type of post-credit for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And technically, according to this leak, the post-credit scene would take place after No Way Home. Because originally I thought, well, maybe Peter will go into a different universe, and perhaps in this universe he'll pick up the black symbiote for just a little bit and then leave it in that universe and move on. But this report specifically says after No Way Home, which could heavily imply that it is indeed going to be the post-credit. And we have to imagine that Sony is pretty in sync on what they're trying to do within the MCU, and Marvel Studios, of course, is right there with them, talking about the story and how they're moving forward. So aligning two post-credit scenes probably does make the most sense. We have the Venom post-credit scene that shows specifically Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Then in theory, Spider-Man No Way Home will have a post-credit scene that talks about or shows Venom in some way, shape, or form. Or like I said, maybe it is just another black symbiote. For the longest time, there's been a very interesting theory that Spider-Man No Way Home could perhaps introduce the Fantastic Four because of that huge Avengers Tower being renovated. We still don't really know any information about this building yet. A lot of people thought that it was going to go on to be Oscorp, but since we got the Morbius trailer yesterday and they showed us a new Oscorp building, I'm starting to doubt that Oscorp is actually going to be in the MCU. After all, the Green Goblin that is going to be in No Way Home isn't going to be from the MCU, he's going to be from the Sam Raimi universe. Perhaps in our universe, Norman Osborn decided to do something else with his life. But again, the interesting theory is that this building could actually go on to be the Baxter Building, the headquarters of the Fantastic Four. Now, I'm not really sure on what Marvel Studios' plans are to introduce the Fantastic Four, but hear me out for a second. What if the Fantastic Four go into space, because that's what they do, and somehow they bring back a symbiote? From there, perhaps Peter Parker gets involved with the Fantastic Four in some way, shape, or form. We don't really know what's going to happen in Spider-Man No Way Home, whether people are going to know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man by the end of the film, but perhaps the Fantastic Four do know about Spider-Man. And perhaps they know that Peter Parker is somewhat of a genius. And somehow they team up, maybe through an internship or maybe through a job. This could lead to Peter Parker getting very close and coming in contact with the symbiote. Again, I kind of like this. One, it introduces the Fantastic Four, obviously, and we see the Fantastic Four interact with Spider-Man. But two, it would be a different symbiote than the actual Venom symbiote. Because if the actual Venom symbiote goes to Peter Parker, what exactly is Eddie Brock going to do? I know it's happened in the comics, but I am strictly thinking of on-screen MCU. You'd have a lonely Eddie Brock in New York City where he normally is not at, then you'd have a very, very overpowered Spider-Man. Now, don't get me wrong, there are tons of stories that they could do with this, and they could even have Venom attached to Spider-Man and Spider-Man reject him go back to Eddie, and that's where we get the whole Venom hates Spider-Man storyline, and that would be fantastic. That would be great, but it would also be cool to kind of see Spider-Man get his own symbiote and go up against Venom and Eddie. Regardless of what happens, it's gonna be epic, and I'm all here for it. And it looks like there could be a good possibility that we see Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, come in contact with a symbiote in the post-credit scenes for Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, as I mentioned, we have a photo to go over. A lot of you saw this. I posted it on my Instagram and my Twitter. It's a picture of Spider-Man in that same scene on the bridge where we saw him fighting Doc Ock. It looks like he's falling off of something, holding on for his life, or perhaps a car got thrown at him, or both, but eagle-eyed fans have spotted something in this shot. It looks like under his right shoulder we can see a reflection of what he could possibly be looking at, and it looks like it could be the Green Goblin's glider. Now, this would make total sense because in the teaser trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home, we already saw the pumpkin bomb, and we kind of think that this is all going to be in the same scene. Peter Parker / Spider-Man taking on Doc Ock and the Green Goblin at the same time, probably in this bridge scene. We know the villains are going to be held in some type of a prison, and then they escape. And then we could probably assume that Peter is going to chase after them and they attack him. I actually assume that this bridge scene is one of their first encounters and fights after they're let out of the prison. Let out, escape, whatever it may be. Regardless of whatever it is, Peter's going to try and fight them and bring them back to the magical prison. Hopefully, there will be a lot of fights, and I hope that this is just one of them. It sure does look like that is the glider, and again, that would make perfect sense because we've seen the pumpkin bomb, but let me know what you think. Have you examined this photo? Do you think it's the Green Goblin's glider? Let me know. And let me know if you think we'll see Peter Parker / Spider-Man wear a black symbiote in the post-credit scene for Spider-Man No Way Home. Don't forget to like the video, and for live updates, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.